Hello once again, and welcome back. I'm Lance Reynard, and here with another haphazard recording in dealing with electromagnetics of the atmosphere, how things work in electromagnetism and electronics, and how we stand in relation to what is here on this universe that we live in today, anywhere you go and stand. But now, curiosity, what if you're on a mountain? Okay, I'm going to go with that in a minute. But for now, just looking at how the electrical or the electrons, electricity is drawn in to a point rather more than a, you know, um, like here. You have more points. The more points you have, the more it draws in. So just showing some of these fundamental details, and this is how powering with atmospheric electricity works at rimstar.org, and the link will be in the description. Now that coupled with the architectural details, now I was in the building industries for many years, at least six in framing houses, and another 6 in structural steel. And the atmospheric anomaly details and how they're drawn in and wired through in the construction of old Antiquatech type buildings, and how the spires, see, they run very high into the sky. I wonder what the voltage would be up there. It could be calculated and estimated, but it's just the essential details and fundamental information that I'm looking at here. I don't want to get too overly complicated, and I would prefer to be much, much funnier. I believe that in the past there was a greater deal or a greater amount of electromagnetism, as in this image once again. Powering this image once again. And right here, with the amount of voltage, I believe in the past there was a greater amount in the lower areas here. So if you were to this guy were to raise his arm, he would go up to 300 volts. I believe that used to be a much higher number. I believe it was altered by our adjustments in the environment, with the atomic weapons we've used, the atomic weapons that were mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Let's just check here. Bhagavad Gita. All right. Well, in that chronicle and those references and details, it mentions nuclear holocausts and nuclear devices and or catastrophes. I would like to also bring up the issues slightly of radar, and because of the standing and the heights of the churches, cathedrals, power stations, and also how they are wired in together. Something to consider, how they're anchored to the ground. And once again, I'm very adamant about looking at the structural details. Aside from the grandeur and the beauty and the amount of time and talent, energy that it would take to paint all of this on here so meticulously and so beautifully. I am not a great teacher. I am a little distracted, and that's okay. I'll take care of that soon. But in the meantime, I would like to show you a couple of details, not hammer you to death with them, about the construction and the way things are put together and the electromagnetics of our place here in the world. And each one of us to consider like this, and the vibrations you let off an organ, or you stand in the center of this and hit the A note or C note or go woo long enough, and the vibrations will start to resonate within the area. I don't care if you're in your bathroom. It's a fascinating. Once you hit the right resonation, that vibration sounds like it's gonna shake the room apart. It's really fascinating. And the creation of radio. Here's the narrative of the creation of radio. I'm not going to read it word for word. I will let you just peruse it and view it for a moment and get on with it. Try not to be too distracted in my details. Getting back into the layout of the construction has always been interesting to me. I would like to see the layout or the plans, the structural details for many of these old structures, which you never actually see. This is the issue right here from top to bottom. You have a ground, you have the motion of current, and you have a couple of variables that enhance the voltage. And so how that fits into our construction, here's a building with a lot of pins sticking out of it, and it draws in electrons. We call them electrons. They are actually waves and particles, in my opinion. Once again, academia has me quackademia. Wackademia is more like it, because of the fantastic stories we're given. And then we can take a look at, old lithographs long before electricity was used, showing electricity. And, there's no need or reason to be offended by this, but to look at when you look at like this, and well, those people flying around on carpets, that's just crazy. But if you consider the amount of electricity was different, was twice this, possibly 3 times, possibly. Who knows what atomic or nuclear device does to our atmosphere. And once again, who do we have to rely on that information? Oh yeah, that's right, the penguins of Quackademia. And then considering radar and the overall span of radar, gee, I wonder how that goes around the ball so easily. And well, let's just say the oceans are flat, and that's a fact, Jack. Whoops, took a leap, didn't I? I better get back to the constructions and how those electronics get into the lights down below, and where are they in the construction? See, this is what I need to hunt down more of, are the actual building plans and floor plans and structural detail plans, and now how we're adjusting and altering and keeping our atmosphere in a lower voltage. That could have a whole lot to do with this stuff. It could. I'm just saying, and I saw a man's video about these in the sky, and he was excellent. But he loaded the planes with the different materials, and he has a video under dangerous chemtrails, dangerous chemtrails. My editing experience is increasing, as you can tell by my more advanced productions. And so let's get back to the issue of putting things together, how they relate to the electromagnetics of the day. And so if that consideration I made were factual, that there was a higher amount of voltage, and as our years progressed, the amount of voltage decreased to where it is now. It could be with the continuation that this one day will be 50, and this one day will be 100, and this will be 200, and getting weaker and weaker is part of my essential relative hypotheses. And so you consider the year that this was built, and which I can't give you the year it was built, and you look at once again, the mud flood effect going on with it. A lot of people are covering that. I think that's pretty cool, but even though you can see it, I'm not going to press it. Although this back building, I'm just real quick on this back building here. That's got me, curious as to its makeup and structure, the way it was put together. So you might wonder why I'm mixing all of these considerations together, and I might seem like I'm a little off track. I might seem a little distracted. And that's pretty much how I spend my life. But looking at the details, considering the possibilities, that's mainly what I'm doing here. And I want to know this, because I've done it for so many years. It fascinates me. And did they just raise their hands up in the air to get a higher amount of voltage to work with in the ancient weapons? Here's the academia first radio message broadcasted December 12th, 1901. Gemeglia Marciano. Yeah, okay. Well, that's great of that guy. Let's send him some flowers. And here's another nice picture of him being bored. I'm so bored, and my name sucks. I have to spell it out every time somebody asks me my name. Guglielmo. I mean, come on, Mom. Couldn't you just name me Ralph or Edward or Eddie or? Oh, come on, Ma. So anyway, I occasionally will drift slightly off course. I apologize for those details, and I will bring up my academic training and how I was trained, but at this point, these are the main issue, and the amount of static electricity that was available during the time. And also, if you're holding on to something that's pulsing with an electrical current, you are going to fry yourself. I used to do this. Part of my few years, I used to frame houses from the ground up. I used to advise Tom Hanks in his project. So sorry he did Forrest Gump, because anyway, the details. And a lot of people aren't like structural engineers, and so to get you on the right path, I just kind of want to bring up details little by little. And okay, let's consider these lamps up on top of this lithograph, and these lamps right here. Obviously, somebody, they lowered the chain down, and then they put candles in, lit the candles, raised the chain back up again. Really? Or no, they had little guys that crawled up along the top, crawled all the way down, stuck candles in there, hanging from their feet. Okay, now just giving some consideration on how these lamps are illuminated up above them. And it's easy quackademic justification to say that they were lowered, candles put in, and raised again. That would not illuminate this room. I'm pretty much guaranteeing that. And this is for my old buddy Abe out in Florida. Dance away, Abe. Dance away, man. You are the man. So my years in construction again made me consider. I loved it. I loved building houses, homes, and different types of structures. I really enjoyed the people I worked with, a bunch of pot-smoking Christians, and what you consider to be intelligent and to be stupid, or something I'm going to be covering in a very, very near upcoming video. I'll try to stick to these issues right here: the polarity, the direction of an electrical field, and the electromagnetics of. Just give you a moment to check that out, think about it, and not push it all on you. Just kind of let you soak it up, and how the electromagnetics are adjusted, and how you would need a set of these to handle the ancient weapons of the past that apparently directed electronics, electromagnetism. And man, that guy works out. I'm telling you, he looks like one of the 300, but probably isn't. As I was saying with these weapons, yeah, it's just a consideration of what could be, what could be. I mean, okay, let's just say what couldn't be. That couldn't shoot Jello. Okay, So, sticking to the concepts of what takes in and how it takes it in, how it's constructed to use energy, use the energy that's in our electromagnetic universe. And I have gone through in my earlier, very first videos, very coarse and rough videos, how atmospheric electricity has been adjusted, in my opinion. Now, you could call me crazy, but to do the evidence, to actually do the experiments on this, I don't really think I have enough equipment to do that, so I'll have to rely on other people's work and me being able to piece together what I can from that. And through the architectural drawings and structural steel, and you see, that's tracking down those drafts, like the building plans for this work right here. So rather than going through all of these, I'm look at all the spikes and spires and spikes on every one, and to consider that those are lightning rods. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good. And these guys are digging something. Oh, the building out. Okay, probably. Anyway, these are the issues that I will be investigating a little further. I think it's cool to be able to look at building plans and see if I can spot any of the electrical workings and report to you directly, immediately, just fresh out from Lance Reynard. I think it's important to have some of these around anyway, all the time, because they make great little puppets. And some of the architectural anomalies I may have also shown in past videos. I, as said, worked in structural steel. I did everything from the essential creation of the raw steel, as this man is doing, prior to putting on a base plate, to actual erections, and I don't like to talk about my erections. But in the meantime, I have a lot of good things to pass on about electromagnetics in the universe, about the static electricity that is in our atmosphere. I've been studying, training, and working on editing. It hasn't really been that fantastic. But we consider things, a lot of people know things, and have gone through the information in dealing with this. Now, I have heard some interesting theories about the hieroglyphs and how it's just a dissuasion. It's a sidetrack by academia to baffle and confuse. Essentially, Martin Liedtke mentions it as the Phoenicians and their ways of switching people around, switching it up, making things a little different. I mean, it's so many different theories out here in the world, gang, that to consider. You don't have to throw them all away. Looking at fundamental details and then considering what seems to be accurate, what seems to be the easiest, Occam's razor, And in all of these structures, I always consider the electromagnetics. Doing this type of work is relaxing, fun, enjoyable, and very, very, well, at times it's dangerous. He's using a stick there. He's got a pack of sticks in his back here in his backpack, and yeah, he's got his mitts on. He's doing it right. He's got long pants on. If you do this in shorts, your legs will just peel away. I mean, the outer skin. I've never done that, but I have seen other people. Yay, genius! You've never done that. Yeah. So this gives you a little bit of idea of who I am, what I'm interested in, and what I like to talk about, and the way that I like to talk about things. And yeah, and then a lot of people, when I watch these YouTube videos, I get some great ideas and I look at what other people are doing, like you may look at mine and say, man, he missed this and he missed that and he was talking about this and I was talking about. So do better, actually. I absolutely encourage everyone to inspire our thoughts. And these are fantastic. Antiquatech, just amazing, and it seems to me quite obvious. But once again, I want to see the plans. I want to see the wiring. I want to see the full details. And why don't we start wearing hats like this again? Ay, chihuahua. Don't you think? I mean, well, I don't know. Kind of look a little pretentious, pompous, big-headed. I don't know. But although she's got on quite a hat, and oh, I like hers. At any rate, I'll try not to be too distracted in my upcoming videos. I think that we need to pay attention to what we have as history and, in a way, rewrite it for ourselves to be able to come to determine. I believe that the Bhagavad Gita is a very wonderful piece because of its age and because of the technologies that are described in that book. And I know so little, but I do have, in my opinion, important curiosities that I believe will pass on to everybody. And we can all go out and have a big party under the balls. The balls of light, the balls of light. And that show up in lithographs from, 1700s, 1600s, yeah, And we didn't have electricity. No, sorry, Bob. We just, this Edison guy, he gave it to us. He is a super genius. And it only cost this much money. Again, the wonderful, beautiful, intricate, detailed, and antiquitectural architecture. Of course, let's not forget the mud flood down below. I wonder how far those stairs now, if that's mud flood, theoretical, hypothetical. Look at these stairs here, all right? Now go down the street a little bit, and there's more here than there is here. And further, there's more here than there is here or here. So, yeah, to keep hammering the evidence. It's cool, though. It's cool to look at it, I think, in my home. This is nice. I wouldn't mind being able to do this. And I've crafted a sword, just like that one floating in the air there. So with that, I would like to just leave you with this brief survey. I believe it was better than the edited one I took 22 hours to do yesterday and then just dumped in the garbage. After posting it 7 times, or no, five times, rewriting it 7 times, Anyway, it's a lot of fun to do this, and I really appreciate your subscriptions, guys, and that's not me. But you have a great day, and I hope to talk to you very soon. As time permits, thanks again.